Hi, I'm Callie and welcome to Kapowski Reads, and I am just getting ready to go out and get the first haircut of 2025. I know, I think I said, or at least said to myself, I was going to get better at getting regular haircuts, but I didn't. And now it's May and I haven't had a haircut since I don't know when I got mine done last year. But I had a winter coat. I just meant to book one and I didn't, but I booked one now. So this is what we are working with. I let my hair air dry last night, so it's very fluffy and a bit messy, so I've pinned a bit back. This is what we're working with. I am hoping, well not hoping, I'm planning to just get a little trimmy trim, cut off whatever needs cut, so I don't know, maybe like here, and yeah, maybe my hair will feel a bit thicker when it's been cut. I'm very excited, but yeah, that is my plan. I'm gonna go get a coffee, read for a little bit, and then go get my hair done did. I'm excited. I am back from the hairdresser and it's so bouncy. It is also 17 degrees today, so it looked better. Like, still looks, I mean, I love it, but imagine it without me being all kind of overheated and gross. And with, like, there's part of my makeup that's totally just wiped off, and I didn't notice until I took a photo to send to a friend, and I was like, that is my skin that is all pink because it's so hot. And the second it hits 12 degrees, my face just goes like pink because I cannot deal with the heat. But it was so nice being at the hairdresser. My hairdresser and I used to be on the same roller derby team, so it was really nice to just like catch up with her because I haven't seen her in forever, because I am really bad at getting my hair done and we're all busy, so it's the easiest way to keep in touch. I also went to, I'm gonna pronounce this incorrectly, StoryGraph? Is that what it's called? I don't know, but it's a gorgeous shop in town that has just like nice homeware, and I really wanted to get, very specifically, like a snack plate, a plate on which to put my snacks. And I went and I got like a little baggie of stuff. This is a cute bag my colleague got me because she was like, you like coffee and books? And I was like, yes I do. And it's so cute. So I'm going to show you what I got at StoryGraph because it's cute. My little snack plate. I wasn't actually planning to get one that had little sections, but I think this is perfect and I'm really excited to use it. I'm going to have to wash everything before I use them, but I think this is the perfect size and I'm delighted. I also got a teeny tiny little bowl that looks like it's like a flower, and I think this is the perfect size for like ice cream. I have some sorbet in the freezer and I just felt like every bowl I had, it just looked so miserly when I just want a scoop of ice cream. And if I put it in a normal bowl, it just looks like a teeny tiny amount. Whereas this, if I put a scoop in this, it's gonna look the perfect size. Delighted. And I couldn't resist these. I think these are like little reusable calipo? The ice lolly. The frozen juice ice lolly. So these I can just fill with juice, pop them in the freezer, and then reuse them, and I think that's amazing. So I got two because it's a really warm day and I thought I would love to have frozen treats. I also got a grapefruit juice which is in the fridge. Imagine a really nice glass bottle of grapefruit juice. I'm excited. And I got some just little sweet treats. This is a pro marzipan house, so I got a little chocolate covered marzipan. I got two. I gave one to my boyfriend. He had it for lunch. and I got myself 2 raspberry licorice, and I'm gonna eat one when I finish filming this. I'm so excited. It was the first time I'd actually bought anything in that shop. I don't know how it's so cheap. I'm thinking it's maybe like IKEA rules of, you know, they just have so much that everything's cheap, because I got all of these things for like £18, which is an absolute bargain. I'm just so happy to have gotten the plate, the one thing I really wanted. I also went for coffee before the hairdressers. I went to Mount and I got an espresso and I read some of my book. I'm currently reading Convenience Store Woman, and I will be letting you know all about the books that I'm reading over this weekend. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. It's so hot. I'm gonna go and find some ice. We do have ice. I'm gonna have that. I've just realised that I forgot to say what books I was gonna be finishing off in this video. So I'm gonna do that. I have 3 books that I'm currently either already reading or just really want to read. So they are, I have a Kindle book which is called Strange Beasts. It is a NetGalley book that came out last year and I am very, very behind. I'm halfway through it, so I'm fairly confident that I'm gonna get it finished. I've only got like 2 hours left of reading time and I'm not loving it, but I'm hopeful that I might end up liking it. So here's hoping. It's kind of a monster investigation book featuring the children of Mina and Jonathan Harker and Moriarty. So, you know, I like Sherlock Holmes, I love Dracula, but I'm not really enjoying the author's kind of fan fiction, it feels like, just because it keeps referencing back to Sherlock Holmes and Dracula, but none of the characters from either of those are in it. But here's hoping that it's gonna get really exciting. I hope. I also have 2 physical books. I started reading Convenience Store Woman yesterday. I'm only a little bit in, but I'm enjoying it so far, and it comes to me very highly recommended. And I'm also planning to read 13 Ways of Looking at a Fat Girl, because I just realised that I had an unread Mona Awad book. I love Mona Awad. How dare I have not read this book? So this has been on my shelf for a little bit. I'm going to be reading it. It's not too long, so I'm confident I'm going to get all 3 of these finished. And that is my plan. I am getting ready to go out for lunch. We are going. I'm so excited. We're going out for a buffet. Delighted. I finished Hard 75 yesterday. Yesterday was my 75th day. Today, I'm free. Today, not 2 workouts a day. No gallon of water. No, just no. I'm going to go out for a buffet lunch. I'm going to eat 3 plates of food and I'm going to feel sick because I've eaten 3 plates of buffet food. That is my goal. That is my dream. I'm really excited. I haven't been out for a buffet in like, I don't know, like pre-pandemic. I don't really tend to go out for buffets. It's literally just, I didn't know what I wanted to have as my sort of celebration. I did a thing meal, so I want everything. I just a little bit of everything. I'm so excited. But again, it's another really hot day and I'm not one for sun, but that's the plan. Go out, lunch. We have a Marks and Spencer's voucher to spend, so we're going to have a little look in, there's a Marks and Spencer's in the shopping centre we're going to, and we haven't done a weekly shop this week, so we might just get our weekly shop there, which seems very bougie, but it's a Christmas voucher that we just haven't spent. So that's pretty much the plan. Then home, read. I'm going to play Stardew Valley because I have time, and I'm not going to work out today because I'm going to have a very, very well needed rest day. Yeah, it's my plan. A few days have passed since my last update. I had the best day. I did have my 3 plates of buffet food and a snack plate. Well, a pudding plate. Pudding doesn't count. I maintain heavily that the pudding stomach is different to the meal stomach, and I will not show my working. Just that's my belief. I was absolutely defeated by the buffet. My first plate was a good plate. It was a full plate. And then my second plate just got like sparser and sparser. Well, I only had 3 plates. I was so full, so uncomfortably full, but also like in the best way. We did go to Marks and Spencer's because there is a brand new, shiny, massive food hall at Union Square, which is one of the shopping centres in Aberdeen. It is massive, and we had a voucher from Christmas, so we treated ourselves to our weekly shop at Marks and Spencer's. Very bougie, very fancy, very delicious. But the reason for the delay in my updating, because I have 3 books to fill you in on, is that I had an allergic reaction to, I don't know, something. I sometimes get a really bad reaction from Chinese food. So I think it's maybe there's like a spice that I don't come across in my everyday life. And it usually makes my lips swell. Sometimes I get a bit of a rash, but I'm like, who needs to breathe properly when you've got delicious food? But it wasn't that kind of reaction. My eye got swollen, like my eye proper swelled up, and I couldn't see out of it properly. And it's still like a little, I don't know if you can even see, there's a little bit of like dryness from, it's still a little swollen there. I don't know what happened, but it's fine now. But it was weird, and I had to wear my glasses. Imagine. But all is well now, and I'm going to tell you about the books that I read over that weekend. So I'm going to start with Strange Beasts, which was a NetGalley book that I should have read ages ago. I like to think of it as like a Nepo baby adventure. We have the daughter of Mina and Jonathan Harker from Dracula, and we have the daughter of Moriarty from Sherlock Holmes. We also have the son of Van Helsing, and I just need it to be noted that he walks around wearing alligator skin cowboy boots. This book takes place in 1903, and I cannot quite explain just how much that tickled me whenever he like clip-clopped into a room. And it was just so funny because he was such a pompous, unpleasant character that I loved being like, "Sir, are you aware you're wearing cowboy boots? Like, what are you doing?" It was just wild. This book surrounds a sort of monster hunting kind of agency where they have agents who go around and just make sure that monsters are not causing chaos. Our main characters end up going to France. They end up going to Paris because there's been a spell of murders of these kind of influential characters, and they are looking into the murder, and it's good, kind of. I'm lying. I didn't like the book, but I felt bad because I took so long to read it. I had to look at this book and pretend that these characters were not trying to be characters of beloved characters, because that took me very out of the book. There were a lot of moments where it felt like the author was trying to rewrite canon surrounding Sherlock Holmes and surrounding Dracula, and these books have existed for a long time. You can't just start making up extra things and being like, no, this is real. And it just annoyed me. And I think that Dracula is probably my favorite classic. It is the classic I fell in love with as a child who was too young to be reading it, and it is the classic that now is like my comfort read. I love it. So to have somebody use the characters from a book that I hold so dearly, and they weren't even main characters, they were just side characters where there'd be little references and it'd be like, oh, Mina Harker did this, and I'm like, no, she wouldn't have. She would not have. The character that we know would not have done that. And it just really annoyed me. This book annoyed me. I didn't like it. I didn't like the mystery. there were moments every so often, and the reason why I didn't stop reading the book and didn't DNF was that every so often I would get a little glimmer of hope that the book was going to be really exciting, that there was maybe going to be a little, oh, romance or something, but it was just quite, I was underwhelmed. And I feel that's the worst way to be with a book. So I didn't have a pleasant reading experience with this one, but I read it. It's done. My NetGalley shelf, I could tell you, is one book down, but I got approved for 2 more books. So it's actually 1 up. A large van has pulled up outside my house. I'm going to close my windows, so hopefully you don't hear somebody's getting some like housework stuff. Equipment? No. DIY. Could not remember the word there. 2 secs. I'm going to close the window. I don't think that achieved anything. So let's move on to the other books because, spoiler, I loved my other 2 books. The next book I read was Convenience Store Woman. I had such a good time with this. This on the surface was a book about a woman in her mid-30s who worked in a convenience store. She had done since she was a teenager. She loved working in that convenience store. She felt like she was the convenience store and she was happy working there. And she was so happy until people told her she shouldn't be. That she was getting almost shamed into, oh, you should get a husband. You need to get a child. Well, have a child, not get a child. And, you know, settle down. Her friends were just sort of judging her life choices, if you will, because they weren't what they had picked in life. But the difference was that Kiko, the main character, happy as a clam. Loved working in the convenience store. She loved the routine of the convenience store. She loved just having her sort of rituals, having her day-to-day activity, and she felt like she was actually like making a difference. And she was so happy until people told her she shouldn't be. And that was my takeaway from this book, was that if you're happy, don't let people tell you you shouldn't be happy because you're not doing things that they think you should be doing. And I just thought that it was such a perfect message to send. This was a really short book, so short, and I had this book highly recommended to me and it definitely met my expectations. I had a fantastic time with this. It will be going on the permanent shelf. It's not getting unhauled because I think I might want to read it again and I'll have another great time with it. I also read a Mona Awad book I hadn't read before, 13 Ways of Looking at a Fat Girl. I was really nervous. Maybe not nervous, I was anxious going into this book. I've mentioned before, I had an eating disorder. I was in treatment between the ages of 12 and 30. So it was a huge part of my life. But I was anxious and I didn't know what angle this book was going to take. And I think a lot of that came from the title, where I didn't know if this was going to be a sort of punching down kind of book, but I needn't have worried. Mona Awad didn't steer me wrong, because this book was truly very kind of heartwarming in parts and very powerful. We have a main character called Elizabeth / Lizzie Beth. She didn't go by Eliza at any point, but why not? Throw that in. And we follow, basically there are 13 vignettes in this book that all focus on how the main character is seen as a fat girl. And we never know her size at any of these moments. And I think that's so important because it wasn't relevant to the story. We know that at points she is larger and we know at points she is smaller, but what we also know is that at no point is she happy with her physical meat suit that she wears. Like, she's never content with the body that she has, and most of the stories are through Elizabeth's eyes, but we do have a story that's sort of from her husband's perspective. and from her mother. Oh, the sections with her mother just break my heart. I didn't expect this to be like a powerful emotional read. I expected this to be like a weird and wonderful book, much like the other books I've read by this author, so I was surprised, but I wasn't disappointed. This made me feel, it made me very much feel, and it made me so sad for the character and for like women or anybody who finds themselves in a body that they don't feel comfortable in or that they don't feel is theirs. And it was just like layers and layers of just sadness. And I know I shouldn't have found a sad book to be wonderful, but I did. And it was just so impactful and so different from the other books I've read and loved by this author. And I suppose this book did come out, I think this was 2016, so it came out before all of the other books that I've read by her. But I thought this was truly fantastic. I did love 2 of my books. I didn't like one of them, but there was always a risk. There's always a risk with books. Maybe you don't love them. So I'm ending this vlog on a high. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I have read in this video and how you got on with them. If you haven't read them, feel free to let me know anything you have been reading lately so I can have a wee nosy and see what you're enjoying. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!